Okay, boom, bam, bam, and we back. Y'all, men's elimination chamber match. Y'all, okay, all right, let's run through it. Let's go through it. Okay, so y'all, the first surprising thing about this match, and I'm not gonna give y'all the play by play because y'all some dedicated wrestling fans, right? Y'all know what happened in the match. Y'all know who won the match, man. I'm just talking to y'all fan to fan, man. The type of thing you be sitting down after the show with your boys, maybe ringing up one of your brethren or your boys and saying, yo, did you see that Elimination Chamber match? Yo, that's crazy. Hey, I think they're gonna do this. Oh, I can't believe this dude won. Damn, I can't believe he lost. Oh, this is gonna be the it's that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean to be me going through a play by play, exactly what happened blow for blow. Matter of fact, I don't remember all the details of the match at this point, in all honesty, because yo, this is still a new channel, man, and I'm still getting used to a lot of things. And next time I watch the show, I'm gonna have to sit there with a notepad while I sit in front of my television screen while I'm watching and scribble down a couple notes so I can go through that and maybe remember a little more details to give y'all a little more. Always gotta give y'all a little more, you know what I'm saying? But wrestling is really about emotions. Wrestling matches is really about emotions. And quite frankly, I think they're doing a great job in giving us these emotions right now, telling stories. Wrestling matches is really about telling stories with emotion. And that's what they been doing. You know what I mean? This is definitely a match with a lot of these star power main event guys all in this match. And almost any of them has a great chance of winning and main eventing WrestleMania against Cody Rhodes. So that's the real storyline of the match. Like, who is gonna win? This is kind of like an experienced wrestling fan's dream to have all these possibilities that are all legitimate threats to main event WrestleMania with Cody Rhodes. These are all guys that you could say, shit, there's a real case that this guy could get the win. Because honestly, a lot of times in the past, it was like, yeah, most likely he ain't gonna win. He don't got the star power. Or this guy's just there for filler. Or yeah, this guy would be a legitimate threat, but he already has a program with so and so, so we already know what's gonna happen with him. In this case, there wasn't really that. I mean, yeah, there's a couple guys you could say have a lesser chance of winning, but maybe Damien would be the one guy where okay, fine, he's probably truly not gonna win, but they could have surprised us with a Logan Paul win. He does have the star power. He does have the attention that he's gonna be able to grab eyeballs and have watch WrestleMania. So he's definitely gonna play an important part of the show nonetheless. Drew McIntyre, he's up there. He's an upper echelon guy at the top of the card that could definitely legitimately win this thing and face Cody and play into the Bloodline storyline and the fact that Cody now has teamed up with the Bloodline and turned that all around on him. They teased that. CM Punk, I mean, obviously he's had quite the year, and they've already kind of ignited the interest in a storyline with him versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And of course, you got to return in John Cena with his final year. So all these guys have a legitimate chance of winning, and it's like there has not necessarily been any concrete storylines established where they're gonna go into where you're like, okay, we can eliminate Seth, for example, because we already know he's gonna face Roman, is what we're all thinking. But well, let me fast forward then. Well, we know what happened with Seth. He ended up being a key figure that led to the outcome of this match. So, is he going to be facing Roman or is he going to be facing someone else? That's what I mean. The unpredictability right now is something that has not really been done before in wrestling. They're really respecting the fans right now. The fans that watch and dissect this product, they're respecting us right now. Our voices are actually heard. And that is it feels nice, man. It's cool to feel recognized and acknowledged in that sense, honestly. You know, seriously, man. So I mean, I think they're online. I think they're looking at YouTube videos, looking at what creators are saying, and looking at what fans are saying on Reddit forums, and seeing, oh, okay, that's an interesting idea. That's an interesting way to go about a story. This is what you think about this guy. Oh, you guys think that's gonna happen? Matter of fact, nah, this is now gonna happen instead. You know, they're kind of giving us some twists and turns, man. So, and giving us these more deeper, realistic storylines, these gray areas. There's not such clear cut faces and heels and baby faces and heels and bad guys and good guys. A lot more nuance and realism to it, and interweaving stories. And it is not an easy thing to be doing with a weekly episodic television show like Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. So the fact that they're able to pull that off on a week to week basis, when we know a lot of these stories are written on the fly to some extent, is phenomenal. Because when you compare it to a TV show, it's like we want the quality of wrestling storylines to be that of a TV show. But keep in mind, these TV shows, there's these guys have sitting down and really intricately, strategically writing things, and they have so much time to do that. And the show has already been produced for a year or two in advance before it ever airs, right? Everything is set in stone. They can control everything. This is live, man, and ongoing, you know? So, and that's another such a unique element that wrestling has, where you could have a storyline that's more set, more or less kind of decided on. And then as the years go, as the time goes by, not the years, as the months go by, they might make some adjustments and make some changes, kind of like what we're seeing with The Rock and the I Want Your Soul Cody story going on right now. Like, I don't know if that was the plan until a few weeks back. And it's exciting. And that's something so cool that you can do about wrestling, because it's this living, breathing, ongoing story. And whether these characters are on screen or behind the scenes, they have to maintain elements of their character. They have to still be in kayfabe to some extent, not to an over the top extent, maybe like we've seen in the past, which was applicable. God damn, like I knew I was gonna stumble on that word, which was applicable to that time, right? That time frame where why not just stay all the way in kayfabe, i.e., Undertaker. But now you can kind of blur the lines with your character a little bit, where if you're in a press conference, you can be a bit more human and a little bit more not as turned up the volume on that character, but you're still maintaining it. That's the difference. It's not like you're going into a movie and then after that role is done, you're just back to the regular guy. You have to kind of carry this character, at least elements of this character, throughout your time in the business, throughout your life, really. And that's very unique. So changes on the fly will be made. Anyways, we need to switch gears and make a change, because once again, I'm rambling. Like I said, it's a new YouTube channel. I'm getting used to it. I'm gonna figure out the formula soon and abbreviate a little bit and cut it down a little bit and get to the point a little bit more. But you know what I mean? This is me. This is my style. A little bit too. Things come into my brain, and I want to convey that to you, bring that to you. So let me do what I do, man. All right, stop getting in my way. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? But let me look at a few notes I have. What else do I have? All right, man, let's go through the match a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Of course, a lot of people are like, man, Drew McIntyre, man, he got eliminated kind of underwhelmingly, the same way he kind of got eliminated underwhelmingly in the Royal Rumble by Damian Priest. You know what I'm saying? He didn't make it really to the final. He didn't really get to combat those guys, the final guy. He didn't really get to that point, which I think that's the problem we feel. It's like he's kind of been presented to be in that league of Punk, Cena, Seth, but recently it's feel like he's kind of stepped a little below that because he's had roll up losses by Jimmy Uso, now Drew Mac, Damian Priest on SmackDown. Was it Damian Priest? Yeah, I think so. Damian Priest beat him by a roll up on SmackDown, right? And now again, was it someone else on SmackDown? And then Damian Priest now in the Elimination Chamber defeated him by a roll up, right? So that's my only issue. And like I would assume they're gonna have some sort of get back in place for Drew McIntyre, but obviously they're trying so much to push and uplift Damian, which I don't know if it's necessarily going to work in the end. He has some limitations on his character and on his ring work, I feel like. Although he has a great look, I don't know if that will be over. I don't know if they will overcome that. They did do that temporarily when he was a part of the Judgment Day and when he was a heel, but as a face, solo dolo without the Judgment Day, it's not all connecting right now. So if Drew decimates him, or I don't know how much that's going to do for Drew at WrestleMania, and then that's just going to kind of kill all the work that they put into Damien by trying to bring him up to the level of a Drew McIntyre and upper card guys. So I don't really know what the end game is in that, but it's got to be something hopefully in place for Drew, because usually when guys go on like a losing streak and there's some sort of promise that, oh yeah, they'll get their get back eventually, don't worry. I have not really seen cases where it worked out too well. So that's a little disappointing that Drew got eliminated in that manner. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. Looks like we will be getting that Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest match after all, which many of us are kind of lukewarm about, but is what it is, I guess, right? Anyways, comes down to Cena, Punk, and Seth Rollins, right? And one thing I'm going to talk about here, which probably nobody is really talking about, I don't know if people notice this or not because it's a tired wrestling trope, okay? But when Seth did get eliminated via GTS and then getting hit by the attitude adjustment or the FU, I like to call it the FU still. I don't know what his attitude adjustment thing, bro. But yo, he got hit with the GTS that led into John Cena hitting him with the FU. And it's like, yo, like my whole thing is like, okay, how come it's the one time when CM Punk does the GTS and the guy does not fall to the ground? Instead, the guy stays up and conveniently turns around for the other guy to hit him with his finisher move. In this case, John Cena hitting him with the attitude adjustment. Like, that shit's whack to me, man. They used to do that back in the day with Shawn Michaels and Triple H when he used to hit him with a super kick, and then Triple H would be there conveniently for the guy to turn around and then hit him with the pedigree. How come every other instance of Shawn Michaels doing a sweet chin music super kick, the guy falls to the ground for Shawn Michaels to take advantage and pin him 1, 2, 3, or for CM Punk to hit him with the GTS and for him to take advantage after he falls to the ground and hit him with the 1, 2, 3 pinfall? Why is this the one time where the guy stays up and conveniently turns around for the other guy to hit him with his finisher just so we can have a double finisher? That is super lame, man. They got to cut that out, man. I'm not saying there is no way to do it. The way to do it is, why not have the guy about to fall down after he gets hit with the GTS? In this case, after Seth Rollins got hit with the GTS, why can't he begin to fall where Cena is there to kind of catch him before he hits the ground and then kind of lift him back up and put him on his shoulders and deliver the attitude adjustment? Why can't we do it like that? A little touch of realism, a little touch of logic. You know what I'm saying? Like in the wrestling world, like they always, like I said, every time CM Punk hits that GTS, the guy always falls. Why is it the one time it's different? Just because we know there's going to be a setup for another move to follow it? I don't like that. They got to stop doing that. That is super whack. And there's a way to still get that cool double finisher thing that the fans like to see and do it in a more logical way that stays within the rules of wrestling or the rules of what we see historically, i.e., the guy falling down immediately after a finisher. That's super lame, super weak. They got to change that up. Just my beef, something I wanted to. I had to say it, man. I had to talk about that shit. That shit. Every time I see that shit, I can't stop thinking of that. I don't feel like anybody else notices it but me. But I got to take that off the chest real quick, right? Come on, right? Okay, man. Other than that, yo, Yo, man, this guy came back after he got eliminated. He was pissed off. Seth Rollins was, and he seen an opportunity and he took it. Before he was officially outside of the cage, outside of the chamber, he seen an opportunity to get back on CM Punk, man, and that's what he did. So when he seen him grasping for the ropes, trying to pull himself back up, he seen his head exposed, and Seth Rollins pounced on that, hit him with the curb stomp, and that was the catalyst that Cena took advantage of. He's seen that, and no hesitation, I may add, John. Very little hesitation. Thought about it for about a millisecond and scooped him up into the STF. And another little thing, if we're looking for little moments of maybe foreshadowing of a Cena heel turn, is that usually he does the attitude adjustment kind of like this and doesn't go all the way yanking on them. But this time he locked that shit in like a goddamn sleeper hold, like a choke hold. And when he does that version, little chance. So CM Punk passed out after that. I like how they protected CM Punk. He did not get pinned and he did not actually tap out. He passed out. So they protect him in that way. So there you go. There you have it. CM Punk is your Elimination Chamber winner. And sorry, CM Punk. John Cena is your Elimination Chamber winner. And he's going to be the one to face Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. And of course, we've seen the aftermath afterwards, which was some magnificent top tier, top level work. But hey, where does CM Punk go from here? And you seen while Cena was yanking on CM Punk's neck and had him locked in the STF, goddamn Seth Rollins is screaming, "Die, die!" That's some wild shit right there, man. That's some epic level shit, man. You gotta love Seth Rollins, man. He's really the glue holding all of these stories and all of this stuff together. And what's gonna happen is I thought he was gonna face Roman. He's the one that curb stomped Roman onto the steel steps. So you know what I'm saying? He took out Roman. Roman didn't even make it to the Elimination Chamber. So not only did he spoil CM Punk's opportunity to main event WrestleMania, but he also did that already previously to Roman Reigns. So he's got a target on his back and his front from both of these guys. So and it's also interesting to think about, are they going to turn him all the way heel? Is he going to maintain this kind of realistic character where he legitimately has beef with these guys and he has this dark side to him, but he's still kind of in the gray, which, you know what, is interesting. He could really be that guy right now to kind of bring wrestling into a new space by more so utilizing this realism of these gray area characters where it's not this kind of comic book good guy, bad guy thing. So Seth Rollins is probably the perfect guy to maybe just hold on to that, which might be the best place for him, actually. Because you see him kind of doing this in a weird sense with how he comes up with these costumes, how he's able to come up with these completely outlandish costumes, which would essentially usually make someone automatically a comedy character. But he comes up with these absolutely outlandish, comedy esque outfits, yet spits a serious promo most of the time, and then is a serious, respected, absolute certified threat uh, out of anybody. So that's already like a gray area thing or something that we didn't expect to really be seeing. Usually, when a guy does these elements of comedy, it kind of diminishes the seriousness of the character. But in his case, he can come up with as many goofy, silly outfits, and he can cut a serious promo, and we take it just as serious as anybody else. So that's very unique. That's not something we've never seen before. So he's definitely the right guy, the right candidate to completely carry that shit into a new space. So we're seeing these realistic characters where they have some good traits, some bad traits. Some people will agree with it and think it's justified, and other people will say, "Nah, man, he's on some bullshit." I guess that's pretty interesting. So I'd actually like to see them hold him as that gray area character, and not just do this bullshit where it gets just so comical or comic book esque, where straight bad guy, good guy, and all of a sudden he's friends with the bad guys now, and hates all the good guys all of a sudden. It's a little bit boring nowadays, right? So I would like to see them experiment with that and explore that role, that gray area role, a little bit with Seth Rollins. That'll be fun. That'll be interesting, and that'll be something very new. And This is where wrestling is now gone into a new space. You know, this is the thing that's, what I'm saying, that we're not really seeing, have not seen before. And this is what could actually be the thing. Those type of things and those deeper storylines and these layered characters is going to be the opportunity to have a resurgence in wrestling, make wrestling cool again. Give us, not that we're going to recreate an attitude era, but another point of wrestling be very much at the forefront and much more mainstream by making it cool again. And this is how you make it cool again, okay? Because this is how you make it a little bit more relatable and deeper, like any sort of TV series you might watch and you really get into it. You know what I'm saying? You can do that with wrestling because these stories are just so well written, and these characters, you can feel the emotions in them. You know what I mean? You can feel when they make certain decisions that could be detrimental to them down the line, and the consequences is the type of things we deal with in real life, right? So if you see that in the characters, this really, brings it out of your TV screen and into reality a little bit more. So go all the way with a guy like Seth Rollins when it comes to that. Anyways, me rambling once again on all the theories and so forth. But this is what we do right after we watch a match or we watch the event. We talk to our friends and we theorize and we talk about what could happen or what might happen or what we liked, what we were satisfied with, or what I mean. This is the magic of wrestling, man. So this is really what I am trying to do with this platform here right now, and I'm gonna figure some things out, how to abbreviate things, like I said, a little bit more and chop it down a little bit, because sometimes maybe there's no reason for me to be going so long. And I'm leaving maybe a few details on what actually happened, and I'm just talking. So I don't know. But hopefully, I'm speaking mostly knowledge and things that make sense, and I'm not just saying words that don't mean anything. I hope when I watch this back, and I hope when you watch this, at least I'm saying, 90% sensible stuff. You know what I mean? That maybe I could abbreviate, but I'm not necessarily just talking to talk. That's the one thing I don't want to do. So, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? But interesting. We're going to see what happens next between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Is that going to be a triple threat? I don't see how that would be effective in getting a story across, but maybe they're going to find some genius way to interweave all of that. Is CM Punk still going to use this favor some way and somehow? At the check. I see the blue lights. We still good. The mic is still recording. Last time this shit went orange and no audio was working anymore. So I got to check nowadays, man, what's happening while I'm recording the video. Are we going to see CM Punk use this favor that he has with Paul Heyman? I don't know how they're going to get that into action. I don't like Paul Heyman doesn't really have that much power. WrestleMania is pretty much CM Punk's WrestleMania opportunity in the main event is pretty much already passed him by at this point. So, but I don't know how they're gonna make that work, man. But yo, man, great elimination chamber match, men's elimination chamber match, and we got some great storylines now. A bit more indication of what's gonna happen with some of these storylines, but there's still a lot of stuff that's unpredictable, man. So we gonna see what happens, man. I don't know. Anything else for me to talk about on that matter anymore? Any more things? I guess not necessarily. I guess I covered what I was meaning to cover. I probably never thought it'd be a 25-minute video, but here we are once again. All good, man. It is what it is. Boom, bam, bam. And we in.